So this one we said was a no solution. This one is a one solution. Now let's look at this one. Okay, Marley, what's the slope of this first equation here? Okay, what about the second equation? What's the slope? Somebody help her out. -5. So my slopes are the same. What about my y-intercept? Does the y-intercept have an x with it? No, it's just a number by itself. So what's the Isabella Ocasio? What's the y-intercept in this first equation? Okay, if -5 is the slope, what other number do you have there? 6, right. So what is the y-intercept in the second equation? Just answer out. 6. So the slope and the y-intercept are the same, so infinitely many solutions. Okay, now neither one of these are really in slope-intercept form, although with the second one, you can kind of tell your slope and your y-intercept. Now, what do I have to do here? I have to move this over to this side. So I'm just going to change the sign. Okay, so I subtracted 2x from each side, so that turns this equation into this. Now we see that these equations are exactly the same, so that would be infinitely many. Okay, 2x plus y equals 5. Yeah. I just wrote it exactly the way the other one was. I can't combine those. I can't make that 3x because that 5 doesn't have an x. So they're exactly the same. Basically, if you move something to the other side of the equal sign, change the sign. Okay, this one is already in slope-intercept form. So let me go over here. 15x plus 3y equals 12. Well, first I need to move the x term. Well, I can divide everything by 3. So I got 5x plus y equals 4. Okay. Now I need to move this over to the other side, and that's going to make it negative. I want you to get in the habit of doing this. So this equation becomes this. They're exactly the same. So now both of these are different. So I'm going to move the 8 over here. So that's going to make it a negative when I move it. So y equals 5x minus 8. What are your questions? So I feel some confusion. Okay, if I did this, equals 5x, I'm going to subtract 8 here and subtract 8 here. I cannot combine that 5x and that minus 8 because they are different signs. So y is equal to 5x minus 8. I'm going to have to do a new seating chart because y'all acting like y'all in the 6th grade. So y, and you're not learning because y'all back there talking while I'm talking. Guarantee you, y'all folk going to be struggling to do the work because you're talking while I'm teaching. Okay, so this is going to be y equals 5x minus 8. Now this one, we already got the x and the y, on different sides. So all I have to do is divide each of these by 2. And I get 5x plus 8 equals y. So this is 5x minus 8. This is 5x plus 8. Same slope. You said how many? Slopes are the same. Y-intercept different. No solution. And it might help if I wrote y equals 5x plus 8, and then I wrote this like this, y equals like this. Now you see, now it has the same slope, but the different y-intercepts. Even though one is positive and one is negative, those are not the same. So that's a no solution. Give me a good question. Give me one question you think somebody else might have. Mm-hmm. Because that's not slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form, that's a good question. Slope-intercept form is this. Y equals the next one. So y equals your slope times the number x plus your y-intercept. Those have to be on the same side of the equal sign. That's a very good question. Anybody else? Give me a question somebody else might have. Okay, now let's look at these. We got to do a little work, but we can do it. We know how to do this. So this one, I got to multiply 5 times x and 5 times that negative 4. So this one is going to be 5 times x. 5 times the negative 4 is minus 20. Okay. And then this one, that's a negative y. So I can divide everything by a negative 1, which means pretty much to change the sign of everything. So this one becomes, I'm going to write it down here, positive y, negative 4x, negative 12. Different slopes, one solution. I'm showing you some quick manipulations. You don't want it solved for a negative y, you want it solved for y. And then since it's reflexive, I can, this would have been negative 4x minus 12 equals y after I divided everything. But math is equations are reflexive. So I can use the reflexive property to switch those over. Now this one, y equals negative x. I have a negative 3y. So I'm going to divide everything by a negative 3. So that's y, 3 divided by negative 3 is a negative 1. So y equals negative x, y equals negative x, same equation. And when I turn you over to do number 2, and remember, after we take the test, I'm not taking your late work. Y'all know that, right? So there's no more, I'm going to catch up all my assignments the last week of the grading period. Because at this point, it makes no sense to do the assignments after the test. And you know there are no more retakes, right? We're doing test corrections. And what did I say you have to do on those test corrections? This last one. So this is y equals negative 3. And then I'm going to multiply this out. Negative 3x minus 27 equals y. So different slope, because this slope is 0. So that is a one solution. All right. So now you're going to flip the paper. Make sure you write your name on that side. That's what you're going to turn in. If you need an extra sheet of paper to work them out, it's back there. You can get a sheet of paper from back there and work them. All right, that's that. I'm going to put this up